Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today it is an absolute gorgeous day here in Southeast Missouri. We are all outside enjoying this weather, and I am fixing to get this out and bring you along on another experiment, I guess you could say, for the garden this year. I've been watching several people on Instagram and YouTube on this specific product called Greenstalk. It is a vertical garden, and you can grow anything from herbs, lettuce, kale, your leafy greens, to carrots, tomatoes, peppers, green beans. Almost anything you can grow in your garden, you're supposed to be able to grow in this vertical garden. But without further ado, let's get this thing out of the box. Let's get it set up, and I am going to fill it with some soil. I may or may not get to the planting today, but I at least want to get it set up and ready to be used. One of the first things you'll notice when you open the box is the care that was taken to package and put together your Greenstalk Vertical Garden. I think the way the package is handled and assembled just reflects back to it being a small family-owned business. Now, the Greenstalk that we purchased is the original tier Greenstalk. They now, new to 2021, carry the leaf tier, but this here is the original tier Greenstalk Vertical Garden. Once you open up your package, your box, you will notice a few things. Inside of the bag, you'll have a personal thank you note for purchasing the Greenstalk, information on the mover and how to assemble it, a thank you card from the whole family, as well as some stickers, which I thought was a great addition to the Greenstalk, and even a package of seeds. It just so happens that we got green beans, which is perfect because we love green beans. Next, you will find your vertical planter instructions. This is a very informational packet. On the inside, it has how to plant your Greenstalk, watering tips, and just general tips for your Greenstalk, as well as how many plants you can plant per pocket. On the back, you will find all the ways to contact Greenstalk and a little bit more about the Peterson family. As I mentioned previously, we did purchase the mover for the bottom of our vertical garden. So we've got the mover base, as well as 6 wheels. 3 are locking, as you can see on the left, and 3 are non-locking. You're going to alternate between the locking and non-locking wheels. Attach those to the bottom, they pop in place. In addition to the base, you will have a drain hose that goes right there at that opening. That is how you would drain the water from your vertical garden if need be. And you can easily remove that and add in the black cap to cap off and hold the water within your vertical garden. So both of these are included with the base if you want to purchase that at an additional cost. Now that we have the base assembled, we're going to go ahead and start building our tower. The original tower comes with 5 tiers. So I will attach the first tier to the base here and start adding my potting mix. Each original tier needs 1 cubic foot, which is equivalent to 8 gallons of what they suggest high quality potting mix. Now, if you get the leaf tier vertical garden, it will only require 3/4 of a cubic foot or 6 gallons of potting mix. So there's a couple gallon difference in size between the two. The leaf tier would be for smaller plants, whereas the original tier you would be able to grow larger plants. It has a larger area for the roots to grow. Now, in between each tier, you will add a gray watering disc. This is what the water will collect in when you water it from the top. It will go into each of the gray discs between the layers, and that will distribute the water to each of the pocket within the tier. So how this vertical garden works is you will add water in the top of your vertical garden. That water will then drip into each pocket between the tiers. So each of those gray discs will fill up with water, and it will distribute into that tier. Any overflow goes in through the center hole of the gray disc, and then it delivers it to the next tier. That is how you get an even watering throughout your vertical garden. As you stack each tier, they will fit snugly and tightly together. There's little feet, they call it, on the bottom of each tier, and those will lock into the tier below it. When your vertical garden is properly stacked, there should be no wobbling. And I will tell you, I have moved this around and it is very sturdy, and I've not had it try to tip on me at all. The weight of the potting mix and the soil, as well as any water or plants, kind of keeps everything snug together. They do have each tier labeled to fill soil to the top, so you want to make sure your soil level is all the way to the top of each tier. Here's a little close-up of that gray watering disc. You will notice the holes in the gray watering disc should line up to the pockets within your tier. So I'm just trying to indicate here how the holes line up to the pockets. And to finish the assembly for our vertical garden, we will add the top tier. And then what goes on the very, very top is called the water reservoir. That is where you will put the water in, and it will trickle from there throughout your vertical garden. Now, I do want to quickly mention the Greenstalk Vertical Planter Garden is guaranteed not to crack or fade for at least 5 years. Another addition that the Greenstalk added to the water reservoir are these little lines. You'll notice this bottom line, that is what you would go by if you had 3 tiers in your Greenstalk. You would fill water to that line. We have 5 tiers, so ideally we would fill it to this top line. Now that is all going to vary depending on your water pressure and how quickly the top tier fills up. The rule of thumb is keep filling the top reservoir until it flows out the bottom of your vertical garden. And here it is, our Greenstalk Vertical Garden. Now we only have this assembled with the soil inside, the potting mix inside, but for right now we're going to get this scooted around to the back side of the house, and hopefully within a couple days we can get some seeds in here and see what we can get germinated in it. I really think this would be a great option if you were interested in container gardening, or if you lived in the city or somewhere where you couldn't have an in-ground garden and you were still interested in it. I think the vertical tower garden is a great idea. I'll make sure to leave the website and everything down below so you can access it and just check it out. And of course, I will bring you along with updates that we have in future videos of how this is working, how we're progressing with it, and hopefully this will be a nice addition to our yearly garden. Okay, it has been 1 month since we've had our Greenstalk Vertical Garden, and I just wanted to come on here and give a little update on it, how we like it, how things are doing in it. And honestly, I don't have anything right now that I don't like about it. I'll insert a clip here of some close-ups of each of the vegetables or herbs that we are growing in our vertical garden. It's mainly leafy greens, herbs, and then strawberries on the bottom. I've got 3 pockets of each plant. No specific reason why I did that. It just happens that I did 3 of each. There are 6 pockets per tier, so I just split that in half, and that's what we went with this year, except for the very bottom. There are strawberries all around in that whole bottom tier of the tower. Probably one of my favorite parts about the tower, and you have to buy the additional roller piece for the bottom of this, but I like how I can move this from out here on our back porch into our screened-in porch, so it's out of the weather. We have had late frost, we have had cold temps, we've had snow. It was very, very nice that I could just come out here, grab this garden, roll it inside, and know that it's out of all of the weather, all the conditions that I didn't really want these to go through. So if there was anything that I would really promote if you get the garden is get the wheels, get the rollers that go on the bottom of this so you can cart it wherever you need. Now, at the beginning of this video, when we were assembling it, I was talking about how to water this and how the whole watering process works. I use just a watering can. You could use a hose. We just don't have one back where this is located. As you can see, I'm filling that top water reservoir. The water is slowly trickling down that center portion of the reservoir. That is what's taking it to all the other tiers within this vertical garden. As I attempt to lift this up, what I'm showing you here is the water coming from the center, and it goes into the center of the next tier, and how it's trickling into that top tier from the smaller hose within that top reservoir. Now, if I lift up the top tier, You'll notice the gray disc, which is where the overflow is going. Once again, it's got a hole in the center. That is what's carrying it to the next lower tier, as well as the smaller holes that are watering the pockets of that tier. Here's a little close-up showing you the drips that will feed into the pocket where your plants are located. In addition to the tower, I did use my Cricut and cut out the names of all of the plants that I have here. I thought it would be a fun, different addition. So it's right on the outside of the plant rather than putting in a little tab or a stake that has the name of the plant. This has been a topic of interest, both in person and pictures that I've shown people. I cannot brag about this enough. I will leave all of the information below if you're interested in the Greenstalk Garden. We are an affiliate of them, just to put that up front. But if you buy the Greenstalk Garden through our link, and if you use my code JFRO10, JFRO10, you will get $10 off your order. And just know that if you order the Greenstalk, you are supporting a family business right here in the USA, in Knoxville, Tennessee. So if you have any questions on the Greenstalk Vertical Garden, leave them in the comments below. If you have one, let me know in the comments below. What are you growing in yours? I am so fascinated with this. I mainly got this for herbs. I can already tell I would like to experiment with this with radishes, onions, carrots, some smaller vegetables. I think that'll be perfect for it. So that is our quick assembly and tutorial and a little bit of a review on our progress with the vertical garden so far. I will try to make another updated video on this a little bit further into the year when this is even more established. So be on the lookout for that video and more videos of our actual in-ground gardens. Until next time, we hope you're doing well and happy gardening!